RCF ART912, ART932, ART945. Have you heard of these speakers? I have. Have you actually heard them? I have, but have you heard them all next to each other? I have not, and I want to do it. You want to come listen with me? Let's do it. You ready? We're going to do it right now. What's going on, everybody? Justin Schwartz here, coming at you as always from the lovely DJs Guru studio, and today we're doing another speaker comparison, the RCF ART9 series. We're going to do the 912, the 932, and the 945. We're going to put them up on speaker poles. We're going to make them as loud as we can and really listen to what they can do and the differences. Before we dive into it, and before we dive into more, first, make sure you're checking us out at the DJsGuru.com. If you like this video, give it a like. Consider subscribing to our page. We're going to continue to come at you with reviews, comparisons, and information that is geared to help you make buying decisions and make your buying decisions easier. So, back to the review and the comparison of the ART9. Now, we had done a video recently. It was more of a webinar style where we talked about each one and we put it out on paper. And we lined them all up and we said, okay, this is what the specs are, these are the features, and this is what I think is going to be best for each customer. But to get a chance to really listen to them is definitely different, and when we do that, we can really start to say, okay, this is going to be able to do this type of event, and you know what, this will be better there, and that will be better over here. Speaker series like the ART9, it's important to know, all right, one's at $750. Why am I buying that one versus the one that's at $1,999 and everything in between? So we chose the 912, the 932, and the 945. And before we go and test them out, let's check out some of the specs and the features. First, the ART912, and we actually demoed the AX version, which is exactly the same other than the digital screen and the mixer built in, but the speaker itself is the same. So we did that, and that comes in at a 2100 watt amplifier. These are all 2100 watt amplifiers. The 912 has a 130 max SPL with a 1.75 inch compression driver. It has a 90 by 60 coverage angle, so it's going to give you a wide and a deep coverage angle like a two-way should. And it comes in at 41.89 pounds, so good weight, but certainly not too heavy for what I know it will sound like. Now, the 932, we've got 132 max SPL. We've got a 3-inch titanium compression driver, so it's a better quality component in the compression driver on the 932 compared to the 912. And weight is about the same at 41.45 pounds. Okay, amplifier, the frequency range, that is also the same when we're talking about the 912 and the 932. Now, we're going to go to the big boy, the 945, and this has a 2100 watt amplifier, but has the highest of the max SPL at 135. Also, if you notice on the frequency range, you're going to actually get a -5. It will go down to 45 on the frequency range. So that 15-inch woofer versus the 12 on the 912 and the 932 is also showing you a lower frequency range. And then it's got a 4-inch titanium compression driver, which is extremely impressive. I can't wait to hear that. Coming in at 49.38 pounds, and that is the heaviest of the three when you're talking about a 15-inch, and this is the only 15-inch speaker that we're going to do, the 945. That's also something you have to consider. The size of it is always going to be bigger, and the weight. So I want to specifically mention the 945 and talk about that real quickly, because I have been pretty vocal publicly about you don't need a 15. You need a 12 or a 10, and then you need the proper subwoofer to go along with it if you're doing a point source or a two-way style system. That's the right way to run sound. It's going to be more balanced. Yes, it's more to bring in. It's a pain. It's more expensive. All those things are true, but it's the proper and the right way to run sound. Now, The 945, from what I have heard, I had not actually heard this speaker live other than in a demo room, but never in this situation like when I test them, when I can really let them go. So I'm really interested to hear that, but everyone tells me, Justin, this 15 is different. The way that they cross it over, the frequency range is very clear. It's not going to be muddy. That's the big thing for me. When I talk about what I don't like about 15-inch speakers, most of them are very muddy because a 15-inch woofer is actually a subwoofer. It's going into ranges that are much lower than what belongs this high up in the air, right? You're putting speakers up on poles. Once you do that, you're losing that whole omnidirectional way that bass works when it touches the floor and resonates. Once you put that speaker up there, you don't really want that because that energy works against your mid-ranges and your highs. All good stuff. I'm excited to get these out. Are you ready? Let's go do some demoing. All right, everybody, we got the 912AX, the 932, and the 945 up. We're ready to hear them all. I'm gonna use the same song. I found kind of an upbeat rock song that seems to have really good kick, really good low-end bass, really good snappy highs and strong mids as well. So we'll get to kind of hear all the different frequency ranges of each speaker and then give you an interpretation of what the difference is. Are you ready? We're gonna start off with the 912. Here we go. Low-end bass sounds really nice. All right. Maybe 25 feet away. Here we go. Really clear. Really snappy and bright. I feel the bass on the ground a little bit, right? Didn't feel too much at all on the ground. Here we go. Now the kick just came in. What? Really even. Everything is separated really nicely. 2, 3, 4. You hear a little the vocal samples there. They're balanced. They're not distorted at all. None of that. Very even. So the 912AX, right now, where we're at, sounds really good. So let's say you're a regular private event DJ, right? This is pretty much the dance floor area. It's a lot bigger, really. 912AX, more than enough sound. This is just one. Right, impressive. Let's hear the 932. All right, same song, same settings on the mixer. Everything is exactly the same, except for the speaker. We're doing the 932. Here we go. We're gonna go at the same distance. So immediately I can hear more. Really clean, man. ART932, here comes the bass. So, it's hard to explain it. I don't know if you guys can hear it, obviously through your computer speakers or whatever, but that 3-inch compression driver, creating all this sound and output, easier and more efficient, push it out more because it's larger, right? So you hear a more efficient sound coming at you. It just sounds more rich and dynamic. Not necessarily a lot louder, right? But the sound that is hitting me at the same volume, maybe a little bit more, I just hear it better. Everything sounds to be a little richer. ART932. Now, let's go hear the big boy, the 945. You ready? Let's do it. All right, so we got the 945 set up, 4-inch compression driver, 15-inch woofer versus 932, which is a 3-inch compression driver, 12-inch woofer, and the 912AX, which is also 12-inch woofer and a 1.75-inch compression driver. Interested to hear this one and kind of see what the differences are. So here we go. You ready? Same song, same everything. More expensive, bigger speaker. Here we go. All right, so immediately I do hear more low end going through the air. It's very clear though, very, very clear. Okay. Definitely sounds really good so far.
What?
Maybe you see my face, right? My story is I've always talked about 15s are not necessary. Everyone always said 945. You gotta listen to it because frequency range is different the way that they cross it over. And I gotta tell you, for a 15-inch woofer on a top usually makes everything sound very muddy. And the bass overtakes everything else. This, I hear everything, but the bass does sound richer, which is what you normally would get with a 15, right? Normally the 15 works against you. Here, I gotta say I'm pretty impressed. It's not as snappy as the 932. Maybe not even as snappy as the 912. But the sound that's coming at me is very, very good. So if you are in a situation where you need sound reinforcement, I can definitely see this being a really good option. Try another song. All right, we're gonna do the 945 again, a little bit more of an electronic song here. Hear how that sounds. Here we go. We'll go 945, 932, 912. Very loud. I gotta say, it's very loud. Very 4-inch compressor driver, it's serious. Wow. Now, if I was doing a private event right now, right, and I didn't have any stubs, which I don't have, that's pretty good. I don't feel anything on the ground, right? But if I don't need that, I think if you're at a party, you want people to dance, you need that kick on the ground. That's just, without that, it's just kind of background music, in my opinion. This, really rich though. All right, 932. By the way, I have the 945 and 932 both in linear mode, which is a flat mode. Here we go. Same song, 932, 3-inch compression driver, 12-inch woofer. Here we go. The 932s are super loud though too, man, I gotta tell you. All right, here we go. Now, this is a $700 price difference between the 32 and the 945. Significant difference in price. Definitely, it's not as dynamic, right? It's not hitting me as hard. But for a 12-inch woofer, it's pretty impressive. It's very loud, it's very balanced, no distortion. And the bass is, to me, perfect. Just enough where you hear the kick, but it's not taking over at all. 945 to me sounded really good, but I really like this better. To me, personally, I like a 12-inch woofer better, now that I'm hearing it right after. To be a little cleaner when it's up in the air like that, you know? All right, I'm gonna try the 912 at the same distance. I'm gonna come right back to the spot. Here we go, you ready? Hey, 912, same song. 1.75-inch compression driver. It's actually the 912AX with the mixer built in and the stereo Bluetooth. Here we go. So this is a smaller compression driver. I don't know if you can hear this. I'm listening really deeply because I'm trying to hear that difference, right? It's a 1.75-inch compression driver on the 912AX right now. And versus the 932, don't hear it as loud. And it's not as dynamic, it's not as snappy. It's the best way for me to explain it. I kind of felt felt it a little bit more on the 932 now. The 912 sounds fantastic, right? A $400 price difference on the non-AX version. So significant savings, right? I'm 35, 40 feet away right now. This is much fun. I'm sitting at a table right now if I'm doing a private event, right? So if I'm on a dance floor, I'm gonna be over here. DJ booth's gonna be like there. I'm gonna be at this far. I'm walking around. To me, it's balance. Pretend. Let's go back to the studio. All right, everybody, we're back in the studio. Happy to be here. I hope you are as well. What did you think? Wow. First of all, in general, ART9 series has done nothing but impress me. Every single one, I've pretty much tested them all now at this point, and I have listened to them and done events with them where I'm like, this speaker should not be doing this event, but yet it does it, and we're all happy. So 9 series in general has done very well. So specifically now, let's talk about the 912, the 932, and the 945. So the 912 at its price point, more on the entry level of the 9 series, was extremely impressive. If you are a private events DJ or a musician, band, any type of music professional or event professional, an event where you need sound on the dance floor or in a catering hall style, small, medium type ballroom, this speaker is going to do very well for you. Now, of course, I'm going to recommend adding subs to it to really, really maximize it and get even more, but that is definitely the speaker and the range I think that this speaker, depending on the room size, you know, but that is really, I think, the customer that it's made for. Now, the 932 versus the 912, the question always becomes, why not buy the 932? And I don't disagree with that, right? But here's where you're going to really get the difference on that is when you are extended past that dance floor area, or if you're outdoors, you know, doing a car show or doing an outdoor event. That 3-inch titanium compression driver, you definitely heard it. It definitely has more oomph. It's pushing that sound out better, not just for the music, but also for announcements, right? So that's something you want to consider as well. If you're in larger rooms, the 932 might be the move for you, so it really depends. If you're a sound event producer, if you are a larger band, 932 is probably more the move for you. And you know, having that 3-inch compression driver definitely makes a difference and made the whole speaker sound more efficient. Now, the 945. Seems to me the move on the 945 that everyone seems to do as a DJ is, I want to buy these speakers and not bring subs. And I think you could definitely get away with that, sure. And the output is insanely impressive. It wasn't as muddy as other 15s that I've heard. It still sounds like a, you know, I still heard that 15 versus 12 difference, but not as much. It's definitely a 15 that I would use, but I find that I would use that more in a sound reinforcement situation, outdoors. I mentioned car show before, but that's a good environment where you're just talking about a lot of people in a large space. You don't need boom, boom, boom on the ground. You just need sound. You need the announcements to get out there. That type of event, I think the 945 would be fantastic for. There's a significant price jump on the 945 versus the 932 and even the 935. So you have to consider, all right, do I need that extra oomph? How am I going to be using it? So again, for sound reinforcement, the 945, for my experience and what I'm doing, valuable. If you're a musician, these things are gonna really, really do well for you as well. You certainly can't go wrong. Just, I'm gonna buy the 932 and 945, and even if I don't always need it, I can turn it down, great. But you know what? The 912 is still packing a significant punch, and you can save yourself a lot of dough if you're just not going to ever get to that next level. So it's all for you to decide, but I wanted to let everyone hear everything and make a decision based on the reality of what we heard. And my opinion is just that, but if you have any questions, certainly reach down below. Make sure you're checking us out at thedjsguru.com. Make sure you subscribe to our channel here, and if you like this video today, give it a like. We do really enjoy doing this. Hope you guys enjoyed watching, and we will see you on the flip side. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.